Say hello real quickly.
All right.
Also, hold on. Good morning, Pio Nation. Apparently, someone just turned out the lights on us right before we went live, so I'm gonna go fix that real quickly.
Alrighty. Welcome, everybody. Glad you guys could join us today for our Overwatch match here against Tiffin. We're going to be going in here in just a few seconds. The lobby's already been made up. We do have our lights back on now, so that's going to be good. They just faded all of a sudden real quick.
Yeah,
so.
Apparently the team decided that, hey, let's just turn off the lights. That should give us some really good visual for the game. And didn't realize when they turn off all the lights, they turned off all the lights.
So, but we got those back on now, so we got that fixed. We already have the lobby made up too, so everyone's just kind of getting their last settings all set up and everything before we get into here. Do we know what map we're going to be going into here for this first match?
Looks like Busan? I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's one of the newer maps. But yeah, so this is a best of 3 with Tiffin University. We'll go ahead and pull up the roster for the Overwatch team.
Yes.
As we get everything here set up. So for our tanks, we have Neptune Morgan White, Lorx QA Ali Muhammad. For our DPS, now not necessarily all of them will be playing first, but we want to at least give the entire roster for our team to recognize everyone that's on the Overwatch team. But we have Chuck's our team captain, Yusuf Altanek, Shadow Dragon, Caleb Bradley, Shaken Dwarf, Drayton Piper, and Shadow Angel, Natalia Facciotto Sija. I hope I pronounced her last name correctly. She'll probably kill me later. So sorry, Natalia. And then at support, we have Brimstone, Ian Darling, and Granny Sinead Banning Shaw. As I mentioned earlier, so this is going to be a best of 3 series with Tiffin.
Okay.
We do know it looks like the first map will be Busan Control. The way the maps work is with the best of 3, the home team gets to choose the first map. So Marietta's a home this time, so they get to choose the first map. And then I think the loser gets to choose the next map, but it has to be a different map and map type. So like the next game, it cannot be a control map. It has to be like either an escort or an assault or a hybrid.
Okay. All right. So we will see some changes in what the objectives are going to be as we go through this.
Right. And it looks like everyone's saying that they are ready, so we're probably going to be starting things up a little soon. So let me get the audio up and running. That way, when the game is going. So we're actually getting things started up with game 1. Let me check one more thing real quick, just to make sure all the numbers are correct. Because we had our Rocket League match earlier today. Unfortunately, Pioneers did fall to Tiffin 0-3, but they had some really good progress, so they're definitely improving over the semester.
Good.
It's just they weren't able to close out on some of the games. So now we'll see how our Overwatch team does against Tiffin. And of course, after this, we will have our League of Legends team go up against Tiffin. So we have quite a bit of esports for you today. And also, I should mention that tomorrow night, while we're waiting for this to get this up, our PUBG team will be competing in collegiate PUBG. They're trying to make it to the top 16 to advance to the collegiate PUBG grand finals.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
And that's going to be streamed here, or is that going to be streamed?
It's going to be streamed on a different channel. It's going to be twitch.tv/collegiate PUBG, but we'll host it on our channel as well, so that way people can watch it. But it should be pretty exciting because I think like right now they're like on the border. They're like at 16th. So if they can do very well here, then they would advance to the grand finals.
Okay.
All right. So we see here that it's like we're going with the standard double shield composition with Sigma and Orisa. And they're going to be going with we got Junkrat and McCree for DPS, and then Baptiste and Moira for support.
Yeah, this double shield style is very good. It's been seen in most of the matches that we've had over these last few weeks. Just keeping one shield up and alternating to try to keep those that damage at bay the best you can for your team. We do see a flank coming around here from Tiffin, coming up behind Marietta. Does some damage, but we do manage to take the point here first.
Yeah, and
let's see how long Marietta can hold this though.
And Marietta's actually did pretty well. I mean, they were able to take out the Reinhardts pretty early on, so there goes one of the Tiffin's tanks.
Now at this point, if they can keep who they have there for a little bit and kind of alternate killing off Tiffin a little bit, kind of keep them maybe funneling in a little and not have the big group of tanks and everyone together again. But
And we see Junkrat trying to go in there, and maybe might have just overextended a little too much. But we see McCree taking out quite a few for Tiffin.
And we have Orisa and Moira in the back here at the point, still trying to do some damage, trying to stay alive. Reaper coming in from behind, doing some good damage to Orisa, but not enough to take the point here. Having to pull back on himself and falling to Moira, it looks like.
And we see that McCree's Deadeye is ready at any point, so we may be hearing that high noon during the next push. So right now, Marietta's just doing a very good job of keeping control of the point. We're able to take out the tanks very early on, so that opened up the DPS to be able to be taken out pretty quickly.
And one thing with this map too, and this objective point specifically, is you'll see these extra walls that will kind of go up and down every once in a while. You need to be mindful of those going up and down because they can be helpful for cover against the enemy team. But if you end up pushing too far and don't realize, you might get trapped outside and having to move a little bit in a different fashion than what you would want to.
Now we see Tiffin making their push. They've already popped the Moira ult. High Noon's coming out. Oh, actually, that was Tiffin's High Noon. Actually took out two from Marietta. So with the Sigma ult coming out.
We have Moira trying to keep everyone healed that she can right now. The walls go up to kind of give a little bit of cover on Marietta here, but McCree comes back in the back and takes out Moira. Currently, we just have Sigma and who's left? Is it just Sigma in there?
Tell, but Marietta's at 99%. So if they can hold this point, they will take round one. So Tiffin's bringing out the hammer to try to disrupt Marietta.
They need to get this cleared out here so they can take this here. The overtime's going to stay as long as Tiffin is able to stay inside of the zone here. At the same time, Marietta doesn't want to leave to let them take it. We have Reaper's ulti coming out, trying to do some damage, but they're able to take out Reaper without too much against Marietta there, and they managed to take the first round.
Yeah. That's just well done by Marietta, just be able to hold a point, taking out the priority targets, but just very well executed.
They got that the first capture and managed to just hold it the entire time, which was very good. Main thing with that is make sure they don't overextend too far. We saw Junkrat do that one time, maybe going a little too far and falling because of it. But you gotta make sure you utilize those tanks, use those flanks when you can, but don't overextend too far to where it's gonna be a death.
But it looks like he learned his lesson. I think after that he kind of backed off. Like both him and McCree were just kind of in the back lines, just being able to do a bunch of damage to everyone else. All right, so we'll see if Marietta can keep up this momentum, and also see if Tiffin makes any adjustments in this next round. So hopefully we'll see Marietta go straight for the objective, because what paid off last time was they were able to secure the control point first and just were able to hang on to the entire game. So they need to do the same thing here, and they're going straight for the control point. And it looks like Tiffin's already there, grouped up.
So we do have Moira staying off to the side here, trying to keep the heals up on Sigma, who's dropped really low. We had Reinhardt drop low too, but Tiffin was able to bring them back up.
Looks like Sigma from Marietta is already down. So two from Marietta is already down. So Tiffin's starting to take control of this point, and it looks like they are going to capture it first.
We have McCree picking off a kill on Symmetra here.
It looks like Tiffin's went with the Reinhardt Zarya combo to power up Zarya's shield and her laser cannon, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. All right, so what Marietta's going to want to do here is make sure they kind of group back up and get a good push going in and actually have a 6v6 rather than funneling in and having McCree was there with, I think, one other. But once the whole team kind of pushed in there, they were able to take out Marietta, McCree, and the other fairly easily.
And Tiffin's Moira already pops her ult to try to push everyone from Marietta back. And it is working, but we don't see any deaths just yet. And now Marietta will pop their Moira ult and actually take out Zarya and I can't remember her name anymore. Why?
Symmetra?
Symmetra,
yes.
I'm drawing a blank here
because of McCree here. So it does put him down to 4v6, I believe, right here. Reaper trying to get in behind. But Marietta is pushing them out and has captured the point.
Yes, they have. So now can Marietta hang on to this? Because Tiffin was able to get 61% of the control point. So Marietta's just going to make sure they hang on to stuff. They do have one, actually it looks like 3 ults ready to defend. but they don't want to extend too far, because if they get picked off early on, then that's going to make it more difficult to defend the control point.
You're going to need to see where Tiffin comes in from. Make sure they alternate these shields, and watch out for flanks. That's one thing Reaper's really good with, is coming in behind or from the side. All right, so we have all of Tiffin here in the corner.
See the ults coming out, high news coming out. Although McCree does end up going down, so it's a couple of trade-offs here, back and forth.
We've had several going down on both sides. So far, it looks like Marietta's kind of coming out on top by just a little bit. They still have Reaper running around causing some havoc. But it looks like he might be falling back maybe to try to join up with his team, but is not able to and gets taken down. So Marietta's still able to hold on to this point. They've almost tied up to the 61% that Tiffin got.
And you see Riptire's ready to go. And it looks like Mora's just about got her ult ready. So we would expect Tiffin to have another push anytime now.
Depending on when this starts, this may be Tiffin's last chance to be able to get a good push and take this point back.
They did burn quite a few ults. So here comes the Riptire. And we got 3 people down with Riptire, and the Death Blossom comes out. But it doesn't look like Reaper was able to get anything from that. So a very good defense there by Marietta. And that Riptire made a huge difference. I think it took out 3 people at once.
Yeah, the Riptire did take out several people, and then Reaper, when he came in, he was trying to get some kills, but I believe the shields got placed just in the right spots to be able to minimize his damage. So he actually didn't get any kills from his ultimate.
So this is going to be Tiffin's last push, because it is in overtime. So if Mary can hold this, they will take game 1. And 2 for Tiffin are already down. Only Sigma's down for Marietta. So ults are going off left and right. A couple more for Tiffin are going down. So Marietta seems to be winning this fight. And all that's left is the Reaper.
Reaper sneaking around, but he has to leave, and he will go down. That will be the end of this round, catching game 1 for Marietta against Tiffin.
So Marietta does take their first victory here against Tiffin. And we got to see what the play of the game is.
There's going to be Moira Brimstone from Marietta's side.
Just right there at that final push. And getting the killing blow on the Reaper there. So with game 1, that does go to Marietta College against Tiffin. So very well. I mean, very well done.
Yeah, the game went really well. I mean, both teams stayed grouped up. They were trying to utilize their shields and stuff to be able to minimize damage on both sides. It's just the team fights that they had just kind of fell in favor of Marietta. The flanks didn't work out, or Marietta was able to hold back Reaper's flanks. There was a couple times Reaper was able to get maybe a flank and kill off one, but several times what will happen is Reaper will come around and be able to pick off 2 or maybe 3 before the team can realize. But they were able to make sure they caught all those flanks and didn't really fall to any of that.
Yeah, and I just saw like the positioning was much better. They were more grouped up to be able to keep everyone up, and just being on the same page with kill priorities. Whenever something needed to go down, they were all on that same page to take that down. So as we kind of mentioned a couple weeks ago, we have hired an assistant coach for Overwatch, and I think we're starting to see the payoff of having that assistant coach. I know I'm the head coach, but having someone who actually knows a lot more about the game is definitely beneficial. So, we're definitely starting to see that pay off. Okay, so it looks like okay, so they were going to request Legion, but that's another control map, so they can't do that. So once we get the second game up, we will get to the game to you.
So with that match there that we had, the first game, now all these games individual are going to be best of 3, typically, right? And then each of those will result in the actual series being a best of 3. So that's going to be the first round, or the first game going to Marietta, and then we had each of those rounds, which was 2 of those going to Marietta to be the win there. So
okay, yeah,
just to make sure people aren't confused on, that they already got 2 wins right there. Each of those are going to be for the game itself.
Right. So we have at least one more game, and if Marietta can win that game, then they take the series. And it looks like we're going to be playing Hanamura for this. So it is an assault map, so it is a different map type. So as soon as we get it started up, we will get that to you. It looks like the game is starting up, so We will get that set up here.
It's going to be interesting to see if maybe the team comps change up a little bit on this one, because there's a few more choke points that people are going to have to be coming through on this one. So sometimes you may see something like a May to kind of like cause some disruption in people coming through choke points to where maybe they get trapped inside or they can't come in at certain times to buy a little bit of time for the team. You might see some more characters with ults that kind of have more AoE for those choke points. But the last team that we had with the double shields, we may also get that as well. I'm expecting more of a Reinhardt maybe, rather than maybe Orisa.
And it also just depends on who's on what side first. Is Mary going to be on offense, or are they going to be on defense first? It looks like Mary is going to be starting on defense, and they are going with the double shield composition, but with the Bastion, which I think, at least personally, I think Bastion's a very good choice for this map in particular, especially if you get to that if Tiffin does get to the second control point, at least capture the first one, then you have Bastion kind of in the back line, so just be able to just mow down everyone as they try to take the second control point.
I'm kind of surprised with a lot of times when I see a Bastion, lots of times I see a Mercy also able to kind of, on a defensive side, be able to buff that Bastion, and they try to keep him safe and control, because the main choke point's going to be right here at this door. There's also an upper area on the right side that sometimes they can sneak through, but typically they're going to be coming through that doorway right there. So as long as you can watch those 2 points, a Bastion can get a good point of view to be able to mow down everyone that comes through.
Yeah, so it looks like they have Ashe kind of watching that point up here, and they're just going to have the Bastion kind of just behind the other choke point to mow people down. So we already see the Reinhardt shield going down, and Reinhardt actually goes down. Oh, and don't tell me my game has crashed. This happened last week. I'm not so sure why this is happening. I do apologize for it. It happened last week. So give me a second here. We can still get this back up. We're just going to have to do what we did last time, where I'm going to have to join Discord and join the stream here. We're only going to get to see one perspective, though, unfortunately. And there's going to be no audio. So I apologize for that. I'm going to have to figure out why this is happening. But let me get this set up here for you guys. All right, there we go. All right, so we are looking at this from Bastion's perspective, because, yeah, I don't think I can log back in the game and join the match. I think I tried spectating it before and it didn't work.
Let you, okay.
Although I will try at least to see.
Well, we have that one open.
Yeah, whoops. Okay, why is that up? Okay, it's a display capture, that's why. All right, so we'll just have to go from Bastion's perspective. We do see the Bastion go down, so it was a 1-for-1 trade there, and Tiffin is in the control point. Once again, in case anyone's asking, the reason why this is there's no audio is we're actually looking at this from a player's perspective on Discord.
So we do see a change here from Bastion. We saw Junkrat for a second, but then changing over to Doomfist here. Them pushing in a little bit too far wasn't allowing Bastion to get a point to be able to do any damage. So having to go to someone that's going to be a little bit more in their face right now. And it looks like Marietta is going to be falling back, letting A go, and just trying to defend on B here.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
You go right ahead.
No, so at this point here, there's going to be, as I was going to say, this right side here is a possible point that people can come through. There's also the main door there on the front, and there's also a left side stairs. So there's more positions that they need to watch out for on this actual objective than the last objective. So there's going to be much more locations that they're going to need to be looking through.
All right, so it looks like we see the Symmetra turrets coming out, and Tiffin's making another push over in the right side, but Marietta is able to defend that. But they still got about 4 minutes to try to hold this, and that... Now, Hanamura is one of those that is very difficult to get that second control point, but with that said, one good team fight for Tiffin, and they would be able to capture it, so Marietta's going to have to try their best to hold this off.
We have Symmetra. She's going through. She's setting up her turrets in various locations, try to do any extra damage that she can. We also have the teleport so that there's an easier access of getting up here to this upper ledge from the main objective down below. We do see Tiffin look like they're coming through the front door with... yeah,
they're able to take out a couple for Tiffin. So that's like a 3 down versus 2, although a couple for Marietta are going down, so it's pretty even. The Reaper for Tiffin does go down, though, so it looks like Marietta has been able to hold the line.
Yeah, it looks like we also have a Hanzo out now for Tiffin. So if his ulti comes out here in a little bit, it's with this being an objective, there's going to be a lot of Marietta in one location, so they're really going to need to watch out for that to make sure that they don't get too grouped up and all get hit by that ulti from Hanzo.
Yeah, I think that last push, there wasn't really any ults, so now you do have to keep in mind about keeping track of what ults have been used, which ones haven't been used, and probably this next push, we should expect at least a couple of ults from Tiffin. So we see Tiffin actually trying to push, and they're able to take out the Sigma. So there goes a core component of their tanking composition. And we do see the Mora ult actually coming out, and Reaper does go down, and both Mora for Tiffin. So Marietta is holding the line again.
Symmetra able to throw up her own ulti as well, giving some defensive capabilities here, kind of splitting this map a little bit. We have seen too, Tiffin's been trying various angles. They tried the right balcony there earlier, then they tried right down the middle. This time they tried the left side. And so far, Mary's been able to kind of maneuver and stop each one so far. I think some of that has also been due to this teleport and being able to use this teleport to get up to that left balcony, because the whole Marietta team was right there able to fight rather than just having two people up there getting picked off.
And we do see Tiffin making a push, and Ash for Marietta does end up going down, and we see Tiffin trying to go in here. The immortality field will go down to keep Marietta up a little bit, but Marietta's holding the line. They're able to take out 3 more for Tiffin.
Yeah, we saw Reaper come in there, and he came in front of the tank. I don't know if that was his plan originally, but he kind of got focused down and got taken out before he was able to do too much damage. And then it kind of just left the tank there alone for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he tried to push him to get something. He was not expecting everyone from Marietta to collapse onto him, and he got punished for it. I don't know, maybe it's a desperation. There's only about 1:20 left. So Tiffin's only going to get maybe 2 more attempts, if that, to make a push. In fact, they're taking a lot of time. They're taking so much time now that they've only have time for 1 more good push. And we already see the Sigma shield coming out. So here comes Tiffin with their push. The Sigma ult actually comes out and actually take both Hanzo and Mora down for Tiffin.
We see the Reaper go down as well. And that the whole Tiffin team, I believe, just went down.
Well, I didn't say team kill, but I think the 4 people that were there pushing. So they only got about 48 seconds left. So but I don't want to jinx it yet, because I've seen games, especially on Hanamura, where like that last second push, wipe out the whole team and then capture the point. So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. And
I think that's what Tiffin's doing right here. They're making sure they get all grouped up, because it didn't look like they had the full team there when they pushed that last time. So I think they're looking to like, all right, make sure we're all here. Let's give 1 more good push. We do see Symmetra's ult coming up here, so that may help turn the tide a little bit here in this big push where we see everyone coming right down the middle.
And Hanzo for Tiffin's already gone down. Actually, 3 for Tiffin have gone down at this point. The Symmetra barrier wall, or where you call it, is coming out, and Marietta is just holding the line. 10 seconds left, and I think the round is going to go to Marietta to be able to hold that second control point.
And there's the Hanzo ulti, but it's a little off from most of the team. They're able to split off and not get hit by it, and it's going to be the first round there for Marietta.
So yeah, very well defended there. I think really what helped there was having the Symmetra teleportations to kind of go back and forth with each point, and just once again, as Tiffin was coming in, and I think there were a lot of times where they weren't necessarily as a group of 6. I mean, a lot of times we were seeing maybe 3 or 4 coming in, and Marietta was able to use the numbers game to their advantage.
Yes. I think one of the things they might have been doing there, because I saw like a Hanzo, and I saw a, oh no, I just blanked on her name, the sniper support. Widowmaker's Anna. I saw her too, so they might have been trying to do a little bit more, like have a couple like sniper type of characters back a bit and not actually joining into the middle of the fray, and that's why we only had a few coming in. But then whenever you get some of those shields up, or you get Symmetra's ulti up, that pretty much just pushes them out where they're not doing anything at all.
Yeah, I would think like on a map like Hanamura that the snipers are not necessarily beneficial, because the control point's in an enclosed space, so it's be difficult for any snipers to get a good shot from the outside.
Yeah, so all you have is that balcony if you can get onto it, or shooting through the doors, which I don't think Marietta was standing in the points of the doors. So I didn't see a ton of Hanzo right there in the face, but I was seeing Reaper, I was seeing the tanks, I was seeing their other healer, I think it was Moira. So that might have been part of why we were only getting like 4 coming in at a time or something, but maybe we'll see what Marietta's solution is on trying to get in and get these points, because they're going to want to try to get A and B and take this game.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the situation, folks. So if Marietta can take this first control point, then we're guaranteed at least to go into a round 3 with this. If Marietta takes the second control point, they win the game and the match. So this is actually something new for Marietta because, I mean, they've been struggling against a lot of teams this semester. They haven't really been in a position where they can win the match. So it's going to be a matter, can they maintain their focus, their
positioning.
Right, and not go with the fact that they could be very close to winning this game. Does that cause them to make mistakes? So as long as they're still focused and play like they have been playing, then they should be able to take this. But right now we do see Tiffin putting up a bit of a defense, a pretty good defense here actually.
Now we did see Symmetra there. They went for a Symmetra teleport play, so they dropped a teleport behind the wall there, and then the whole team of Marietta just tried to push in real quick, and they did some damage, but the May wall went up, it split the team a little bit, and they weren't able to actually push in to take this objective. So maybe we'll see if they kind of mess with that a little bit more and change up their process of how they want to use that teleport.
Now, just in case people are joining us, the reason why we're not hearing any game audio, the Overwatch game actually crashed on us in the middle, and we can't jump back into spectator mode, so we are watching this through player's perspective on Discord, and they're streaming it. So thank you, Drayton, for doing that. But just that way, anyone's wondering, why there's no game audio? And looks like one for Tiffin has gone down, so Marietta is starting to make their push, but Widowmaker for Marietta has also gone down. The May wall comes up, and ults are just going left and right. It's mass hysteria. Dogs and cats living together. All sorts of going things here. The immortality field goes down. Orisa for Tiffin's going down. So Marietta is starting to make their push. And looks like they're getting onto the Roadhog, and they're going straight for the control point.
Yeah, no, they pushed in there. That May wall went up for a second to try to buy some time, but it wasn't enough. We do see May still running around the control point, trying to do what damage she can. But they will take her down, and they're pushing this point here. They're already almost 2/3 done with it. See if Tiffin's going to attack back or just let them take it and hold that point B.
I think they're going to concede. So there you have it. So we're at least going to a possible round 3 worst case scenario. So if Marietta can take this next point, then they win the match.
All right, so looks like Marietta's going to come up here on the right side, up on the upper balcony, and try to do their push from that angle here.
And we even see that Symmetra's wall is up, so they can pop that right away if they wanted to. And it looks like it's about to do it. And there goes the ult. So will Marietta be able to make their push? So the game's going all over the place. The Blizzard's coming out.
May's ulti come out, causing Blizzard freezing, taking Symmetra down, splitting the team up a little bit here. We have Sigma and Orisa still up in the front, trying to do a little bit of crowd control, trying to keep the team at bay, waiting for their DPS to get back to them.
Yeah, so Tiffin was able to hold there. So it looks like the rest of Marietta is just going to back off, regroup, and try another push. So maybe use the Orisa and Sigma ults this time. If you don't want to pop everything you've got. So it was a good call, and then just only try to pop a couple of ults so they don't burn everything they got. So they got still 3 minutes and 50 seconds to take the point. You see Symmetra putting the teleport down, so it looks like they're going to go straight for that left side there.
Mm-hmm. They're going to come through the left side using the teleport, hopefully catch Tiffin off guard. There's a Hanzo ulti coming through, tearing through most of Marietta right here, taking 2-3 down with them.
And the Roadhog ult, so they're able to use that as well. So Tiffin was able to defend that again, but they still popped a couple ults to make that happen, and it looks like we're going to see a switch. So instead of the Symmetra, we may be getting... Let's see here. I think he's still trying to figure out which one he's going to go with. Looks like the Pharah.
Pharah can be a decent one. You can get high up in that one room, do some damage there, but it looks like going for a soldier instead. No, with that last push, it looks like they kind of caught him off guard a little bit. They were all over on the other side of the room. They had to push over, but a mix of that Hanzo ulti and that Junkrat ulti being able to come through and actually do that AoE damage was able to just stop that push.
Yeah, I think you meant the Roadhog, but yeah.
Yeah, the Roadhog.
And it looks like Tiffin was able to cut off Brimstone, so right now Marietta's going to have to hold off for him to come back. Although it looks like they're trying to put some damage on the shields to see if they can break Sigma's shield.
And the May wall going up, kind of delaying a little bit of a push here from Marietta. May shield kind of acts as just another shield that can kind of be tossed up and delay or buy some time to charge up some of the other shields from like Sigma, Orisa, Reinhardt.
It looks like Barry's making their push. Orisa for Tiffin has already gone down. And the coalescence from Tiffin's Moore has been popped out.
We do see Roadhog get a chain onto Soldier here, taking him down finally. But Marietta's still here in the middle, trying to do some damage. That May wall going up again, blocking the stairwell. They can't come down that way. They'll have to jump down.
Although a couple for Tiffin have gone down. The Hanzo and May have gone down. And so is Arista. So Chucks is able to use his Death Boss. And we didn't see it, but you can see he actually took out 3 people for Tiffin. So this may be Marietta's chance to capture the point. They're already contesting it. And they got the point.
And they capture the point. You know, that was great. The Death Blossom coming out there, being able to do so much damage there to Tiffin, as well as what teammates they had left, just making sure that they covered the Reaper. Really helped them to clear out the team, and then using those shields and stuff to make sure they had enough time to capture that point.
And there you go. And with that, so we're seeing the play of the game from Chucks on this Ashe. So it looks like this was a good play in maybe the first round as they were defending. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, your Marietta College Overwatch team has beaten Tiffin University 2-0. You probably can't hear it, but we can hear the team. They are celebrating right now. This is their first victory for the season. We're very proud of them.
Yeah, a very good job. They did a good job this time, making sure they were aware of their positioning, making sure they're utilizing their tanks and putting their DPS in positions to be able to actually do something and not fall to the enemy team too early.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what we're going to do is, because we have a little bit of time, let's see if we can try to get an interview with one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Discord here, as we're going to just take a 1 minute break. So we're going to come back a little bit, and when we come back, we're going to try to see if we can interview with one of the players. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
All right, guys, I'm here right now with one of the players of the Marietta Overwatch team. What is your name?
Drayton, or Shaken Dwarf in game.
Shaken Dwarf in game. And which role do you play in that one?
I'm DPS, so on that match I was going Doom, Symmetra, and Soldier towards the end.
And Soldier towards the end. Okay, so you were the one that started off as Bastion, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So this was, I believe, your first win of the season so far, right?
Yep, first one.
Now, we've watched you guys playing through. We've seen some progression and stuff. Has there been anything you guys have been working on that you feel like has helped with that match in particular, getting you guys' first win?
Just communication and getting the strategies together. Because I know sometimes we'll be like, we had matches where we would lose a point just because we didn't know what we were trying to do. And with that match, it was a whole lot more clear what everybody was doing, what everyone was supposed to be doing. So I think that was the big thing that helped us win.
Yeah, communication, it definitely seemed much better as far as making sure no one was overextending too far and getting caught out, and then you had like a 5v6 or a 4v6 match or anything like that. As far as the rest of your team, like, when you guys were making plans or trying to call out who you guys were doing or what was going on or targeting a specific person, do you guys have a method of how you guys do that or anything? Or do you have a shot caller, or do you guys kind of hey, look at this person right now, get them real quick? And
yeah, we have a usual shot caller, Chucks in game. Okay. He's the one who's he's the best guy on our team, so he's usually shot calling. We'll usually have a support shot calling from the back, like letting us know, hey, they're flanking from behind. stuff like that, making the more general big move calls, and then targeting is more of like the DPS.
Gotcha.
That out.
All right. While we were casting, we heard some noises of celebration during it. Was that, do you know which one of you guys that was?
That was me.
That was you? You were
was
the
me.
excited one? Okay. It might have been heard on stream. I'm not sure. I think it might have been. So it was very exciting to see that play out. Now, when you guys are going through, you guys didn't have one this time, I don't believe, for choosing the match, or did you guys choose Busan?
We chose the first one, yeah.
What made you guys choose Busan as your first match? It went really well for you guys too, but
we've been doing really well on that. So we're kind of just, that's what we've been doing the best in quick play and competitive. So that was kind of just the go-to map for us, and control point maps we've been getting better at. So I think that was the big decision making.
Gotcha. Yeah, that map's very interesting with the extra walls and stuff for that first objective you guys were capturing.
Yeah.
Does that come into play when you guys are planning on like what you're doing or making sure you don't get caught out because that wall came up and you guys missed your chance to get back and fall back or anything, or do you guys kind of not worry about those walls too much?
We like to use the walls as cover, as just the basic thing. Use it as cover, use it to fall back, stuff like that. Trying to focus on making sure that they're not able to get behind a wall, and then if we see somebody falling back, we're targeting them, making sure that they're the one to fall if they're a low health. So.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it was a very good match. We were very excited to see some really good plays coming from you guys. I think you guys had a wise choice on the second match where you guys kind of let A fall.
Yeah.
Because things were kind of getting pushed too far. Was your idea of not letting, were you guys thinking of like if we push in now, we might lose some people and then we're going to be weak for the defense, so just let it go? Or what made you guys choose to drop A?
We realized that there was they had too many people on there and that we were kind of staggered.
Okay.
So if we did push in, we'd just be charging their ults more.
Gotcha.
So we decided to just back off, set up on B, make any decision or make any hero changes that we needed to, and get ready for the next push.
Good. All right. Well, I think it worked out very well.
Yep.
You guys had, like I said, I thought there was really good plays with your placements where you guys were tanking and where you guys were sitting for DPS and stuff. Yep. You guys weren't pushing too far. That Reaper, there was lots of times I saw a Reaper coming from the side, and rather than picking off like 2-3 of the team, he was getting maybe one, usually none.
Yeah.
So, and there was in Busan, I think it was on the last match, there was a Reaper ult in the very center of like your team.
Yeah, and I got like 1 or 2.
Yeah, it did very minimal damage, and it was just very good placement, either call outs from you guys or the tanks hitting their shields to make sure they could minimize the damage. But no, very good progress. We're excited to see you guys in the next few matches for the rest of the season. So good job.
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll see more from you guys next week and see another win.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, well, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so we will be back here. I don't know if we're doing any more interviews for Overwatch, but here in about half an hour, we're going to be having League of Legends team coming out here for Tiffin as well. So let me double check here real quick with Matt to make sure any more interviews or anything like that, or we're just going in for League of Legends at 12, right?
We'll take a break.
So we're going to be having a small break here at 12 o'clock. We'll be back for League of Legends with Tiffin.
Yeah, so we'll keep the stream up while that's going on. So just don't go away, and we'll be back in about 20 or so minutes.
All right, sounds good.